Jordan Spieth's career had been on a steady rise until it hit a major roadblock. After his incredible victories at the Masters and the U.S. Open in 2015, many believed he was destined to dominate the world of golf for years to come. But, as is often the case in sports, momentum can shift quickly. Spieth began to struggle with consistency, especially in his putting, once a cornerstone of his game. The bigger challenge, however, came from a lingering pain in his left wrist. It had been bothering him for quite some time, quietly affecting his performance. By late August 2024, the discomfort had become too much to ignore. Spieth made the tough call to undergo surgery. This wasn't just a physical hurdle, it was a mental one, too. Admitting the need for surgery and stepping away from the game took courage, but it also showed his commitment to making a full comeback. Wrist surgery is no minor thing for a golfer. The road to recovery is long, requiring patience, resilience, and relentless effort. But Spieth's decision marked a turning point, a sign that he wasn't done yet. Spieth understood the challenge ahead and approached his rehab with a patient, measured mindset. He focused on rebuilding his physical strength and getting his body back into tournament-ready shape. His goal wasn't just to return to the course, it was to come back in a way that allowed him to compete at the highest level once again. Even after the surgery, Spieth wasn't instantly back to form. Regaining his rhythm took time, and the results showed. His play remained inconsistent, and his world rankings slipped, dropping all the way down to number 77. For someone who had once ruled the leaderboard, it was a humbling fall. Still, Spieth never lost sight of what he was working toward. Rather than obsessing over rankings, he zeroed in on short-term goals, competing well in major championships and earning a spot on the U.S. Ryder Cup team. He knew that performing in high-pressure situations could spark a return to confidence, and eventually to top-tier form, even if the journey was slower than expected. The progress wasn't instant, but fast forward to the Valero Texas Open, and Jordan Spieth finally had his breakthrough. One of the marquee events on the PGA Tour, this tournament became a turning point in his comeback story. It wasn't just about posting a solid finish, it was about showing the world how far he had come. Over 3 rounds, Spieth displayed a level of precision and control that had been missing from his game for quite some time. But the real headline? His putting. Simply put, Spieth was putting like a man possessed, focused, confident, and completely dialed in. In 2 of the 3 rounds, he gained more than 3 strokes on the greens, an incredible stat, especially for someone whose putting had been a glaring weakness in recent years. This wasn't just a few lucky rolls. This was Spieth taking full command on the greens, reading them with confidence and delivering under pressure. And what made it all the more impressive was, you can drop in what follows next if you want help continuing it. What made Spieth's performance even more remarkable was that he delivered under pressure. Mental toughness has always been one of his trademarks, and the Valero Texas Open was yet another example of that grit. This wasn't just about hitting clean shots. It was about staying composed, trusting the process, and not letting the ghosts of past struggles weigh him down. When you watch him now, the difference is clear. His putting stroke is smoother, his reads on the greens are sharper, and his body language radiates confidence. This was a player who, not long ago, was riddled with doubt and fighting through inconsistency. And now, here he was, putting on a masterclass in one of the season's most competitive events. But this wasn't just about stats or leaderboard rankings. This was about sending a message, to himself and to everyone watching, that he still has what it takes. More than a technical display, it was a showcase of mental and emotional resilience, because in golf, more than most sports, the real battle is often internal. And after years of physical setbacks and mental hurdles, Spieth was starting to win that battle again. He had battled injury, frustration, and the emotional weight of slipping from the top ranks. But Spieth never let go of the bigger picture. He stayed locked in, knowing that each round, each hole, was another step toward redemption. And by the end of the Valero Texas Open, he hadn't just proven his skill, he had proven his resilience. So what does this mean for Jordan Spieth's future? For starters, it's clear. He's not done. Not even close. His performance at the Valero wasn't just a flash of brilliance. It was a signal that something special has been reignited in his game. Putting, long considered the heartbeat of Spieth's success, looked sharper and more confident than it has in years. That alone is a huge boost, not just for his scoring but for his belief in himself. And when a player like Spieth starts believing again, anything is possible. But this isn't about one tournament. It's about what lies ahead. If he can keep this form, stay healthy, and continue building momentum, there's every reason to believe another major title is within reach. It's been a few years since he last held a major trophy, but his talent, his fight, and now his form are all coming back into alignment. The Valero Texas Open wasn't just a comeback, it was a reminder. When Jordan Spieth is locked in, he's still one of the most dangerous players in golf. When Jordan Spieth is locked in, he can still go toe-to-toe with the very best in the game. If he can continue building on his recent performance, don't be surprised if he finds himself back in the winner's circle, sooner rather than later. In terms of legacy, a comeback like this only adds another powerful chapter to an already stellar career. Spieth has faced his share of adversity, but time and time again, he's found a way to push through. His ability to bounce back from injury and rediscover his form is what makes his journey so compelling. He's more than just a talented golfer. He's a symbol of resilience, perseverance, and an unshakable drive for greatness, no matter the obstacles. For many professional athletes, stepping away from competition to deal with injury is one of the hardest choices they can make. But when Jordan Spieth made the decision to undergo wrist surgery in August 2024, it became a pivotal turning point in his career. Wrist injuries are notoriously difficult for golfers. The wrist is critical to every part of the swing, and even a small issue can derail a season. Spieth had been quietly dealing with discomfort for quite some time, battling the pain for quite some time, pushing through it with the determination that fans have come to admire. But eventually, the discomfort became too much to ignore. Choosing to undergo wrist surgery was no small decision, but it was a powerful one, signaling Spieth's unwavering commitment to his future in the game. Golfers constantly face the pressure to perform, often sacrificing long-term health for short-term results. But in choosing surgery, Spieth made a